Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome to Meet Tina here. So today I'm very excited, always excited to have Ismael Perez here with us. He is a starseed and he's an author of this book. There you go, Our Cosmic Origin. So you guys, first of all, you guys gotta have to pick up this book. All right, it's on Amazon.com, and Our Cosmic Origin is quite fascinating topic to me because Ismael has channel information since he's a star seed. He has channel information since he was about 5 or 7 years old, correct?
That's when I knew I was different. That's when I first realized I
Okay.
was different from the rest
So
of
with that said, Ismael, I'm sure a lot of people want to know more about your background. I have interviewed Ismael about 4 or 5 times already, and it's just the basic information from your background. So I'm sure people want to know, okay, how did you get influenced? Who influenced you? Were your parents' interest in all this?
My mother. My mother was a mystic. I believe she channeled when I was a kid. As far as I recall, she used to always tell me about the angels and the spirit guides, and she would encourage me to talk to my invincible friends because she knew that they were my spirit guides. So I would say that she's the one who pretty much triggered me, or at least planted the seed of spirituality from a very early age.
So when you start channeling, did you start it from meditation? Because you mentioned about doing some meditation and yoga before, correct?
Yes. I started, well, how it happened was, as a teenager, I shut down, I rebelled. I became one of those kids that was into like heavy metal, punk rock, and, music like that. Very, very rebellious, right? And so I unfortunately also became an alcoholic on an early age. I used to drink a lot of liquor from the age of 15 to the age of 19.
No way.
Yes, severely, to the point where I was drinking about 40 ounces a day and a pint of vodka just to kind of cope with my pain of losing my mother at the age of 16, because my mother did pass away when I was 16. So that had an effect on me, apparently.
Oh God, so sorry to hear about that. I didn't even know. I was gonna ask you, like, why did you drink so much? Okay. Wow, okay.
So,
That's hard for that age. Yes.
yeah, and so what happened was my aunts all decided to send me to rehab. And so I went to rehab at the age of 19. And in that place, I met this man who was not there because he had a drinking or drug issue, but he was there as an assistant to the pastor to help cook for the man in the home. And it was a Christian man's home. It was like a sober living type home. And he said that he was expecting me. He says, "I've been expecting you," and I kind of was startled by that because he was this grown man telling me, a 19-year-old, that he was expecting me. And then that's when he told me, I was told about you by the great, White Brotherhood, by the masters, that you would be here, and that I had to give you some information and initiate you. And I said, "Okay, what does initiate mean? I'm kind of confused. I don't know what that word means." He goes, "Oh, I have to teach you how to meditate so that you could access yourself as to who you are." He was trying to tell me that I was some sort of like, big spiritual master, that I needed to remember who I was and why I came to the earth. And so he taught me Kriya yoga for the first time. He taught me the breathing techniques. He taught me how to do the entire meditation, where I was able to activate my different chakras and clear my head. And I believe that was like the beginning point of my spiritual awakening. That's what it was to wake up once again after I suppressed it for many years.
Wow. So for how long have you meditated until you were able to connect or access information?
I was able to connect directly. Yes. One of the very first books that I read was called The Autobiography of the Yogi, of Yogananda,
Yes.
Brahmananda, which is the yogi. And I felt his presence. I also felt Sai Baba's presence, and many other masters that have ascended. And they were coming to me in meditations. They were giving me messages that I had to continue and complete the work that they began ages ago. And that I wasn't alone, that there was others like me that I would eventually meet, and that together we would, complete what they call the great work of all ages.
Have you met them yet?
In my dreams and in visions, yes, because they operate from the seventh dimension.
Ah, wow. So when you meditate, you connect with them, you can see them in your vision, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And you still do it now too.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Now,
So
but
you
now,
constantly get information from them, right?
well, not only the masters, now I'm able to, connect with the galactics, the extraterrestrial benevolent forces that are assisting us. I've been doing that for over 10 years now. I used to think I was crazy talking to extraterrestrials, but I knew that I was one of them. And so there was a reason why I was able to, connect with them on a personal level. And so I've been doing that for many, many years. And that's the reason why I was able to access all that galactic information and the cosmic history of the Earth, and then verified through research, was because I was able to connect with the galactics.
So have you come across any individual who also have doing the same thing as you do, connecting as well as you do?
And I've never met anyone in person. Maybe perhaps that has the gifts that I have to the extent that I have. However, I do know that there are star seeds out there that are able to get downloads and messages from the galactics. I do know that for sure, and I think that this is something that is applicable. I mean, something that is um, inclusive of all star seeds. I think all star seeds either are already doing it or have the potential to do it.
But how come they're not doing it? Or
Um, sometimes you just have to trigger that in them. And I think that's what I've been doing with my book. I think a lot of people that have been reading my book have been responding in a positive way by saying that after reading my book, they were able to have more of a, clear connection to their star family, which is a good thing.
beautiful, beautiful. So now let's talk about, you mentioned about solar flash before. So can you tell us what solar flash and how do we know when it's coming or when it's coming? And also we have this full moon, the solar eclipse, the blood moon. Does it have any significance that's related to what's going to happen at
Very much
all?
so. Very much so. It turns out, Tina, that the planetary and star alignments have a huge influence on Earth and on our minds, and pretty much, on everything in general. It turns out that right now we are living in a very, very prophetic time where many things are aligning. Many prophecies are coming to fruition, and so the Great Solar Flash has been at the corner, or has been the foundation of all these prophecies that have been shared before by ancient societies, predicting the events that would unfold in the times that we are now living in. For prophecies of what to expect, how to prepare for the shifting of the ages. So the Great Solar Flash is pretty much the final release of the sun, because the sun is feeding us with universal life force. The sun gets its energy from the galactic core, and then, of course, the Earth is nourished by the sun via the galactic core. And so the final flash is going to be released when the sun is able to see if everyone's ready to be transformed into the next stage of evolution. So that's what the solar flash is. It is the signal that is going to transform humanity into the next era or the next stage of evolution.
So you mentioned it's coming soon. How would one know that it's coming already or it's here already? I mean, you probably channel information, but how would we all can be prepared for this, or even know or aware that, okay, it's close, it's right here, right now?
It's something that we are all feeling on an intuitive level. There's a lot of people out there who are keeping track of the CMEs and the different degrees and power of these CMEs that are incoming and that have been incoming for the last 2.5 months. And so because of this increase in CMEs that is happening, that is one of the many ways that we are able to detect that we are very close for that final, release of the sun that is going to change everything on planet Earth for the better.
So timeline, can you give us a timeline? Approximate.
Between now and 2024, that's the first vision that I had, and I actually wrote about that in my book. So, and other people have been actually confirming that date. It's not just coming from me, it's coming from other sources that I've never met that are saying, yes, 2024 is the deadline for the Earth to ascend into the next level of existence.
Beautiful. Now, the next question I have is negative blood. We briefly talked about that before in the prior video. So I want you to kind of go a little bit more deeper because you said it's very, very important, blood, and it's very rare. Is that what it is? You said.
Correct. Yeah. Well, the difference between Rh positive and Rh negative is that the Rh positive blood type carries within its genetic code the rhesus monkey protein synthesis, which is relatable to the primitives, Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, and of course, Homo erectus. So only about 90% of the population has that blood, where they have a genetic relationship to primates. And then there's only 10% of the population who are Rh negative that do not have the rhesus monkey protein. So that's why they're negative. It's negative because it's minus the primitive gene.
Now, does it have to be an O type, or it can be AB, O negative?
There's only negative or positive, but yes, there's A, B, and O. Those are the only types. But yes, it could be A negative, AB negative, O negative, or B negative. As long as they're negative, they don't have the rhesus monkey protein. And that's the difference between that 10% of the population and the other 90% who has the rhesus monkey protein.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned in one of your talk before about how important, how rare it is, or is it kind of dangerous to have the negative minus? I mean, the minus negative blood. Hello.
No, not at all, because of the fact that the people that are Rh negative are actually they're extraterrestrials. It is a lineage that was established in Atlantis thousands and thousands of years ago by the extraterrestrial forces commonly known as the gods of mythology, who existed during ancient times. So the gods of mythology who apparently came to us from another world, and that's who they were. They were extraterrestrials from advanced civilizations, that coexisted with ascending men. And they are the ones that brought the Rh negative blood type to the earth, because they established a progeny. And throughout the millennium, that progeny multiplied now into like 12% of the population. Yeah. And so that tells us how these Rh negatives, or gives us at least an origin to these Rh negative blood types, because even scientists, when they do their research about the Rh negative blood type, they know that they can detect it, that it's obviously a blood that comes from another planet, because it's not it's not how can I say it, it's not indigenous to this earth. It's not.
I see.
Yeah.
So the negative are the extraterrestrials.
Yes.
And the positive are mixed with the primitive.
Are the indigenous earth clone. Exactly. That's the difference.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Now, what about ascension? You're talking, a lot of people talk about ascensions for ages, Are we ascending at this moment, or are we about to, unless we hit the solar flash?
Well,
how does it work? Yes.
The solar flash and the ascension are actually related. We are ascending because the sun is releasing heavenly increases of cosmic gamma ray energy that is causing the earth to catapult into the higher level of reality, or what we call the fifth dimension. And so what we're doing is we're actually waiting for that final release to complete the transformation into the fifth dimension. So we're about halfway there. Many believe that we are actually currently in the fourth dimension already.
What would you say? What do you think? Are we in the fourth dimension already?
I think we could be, because the veil is thinning. People are starting to see spirits. The spirit realm and the physical realm are becoming more tangible, or at least people are piercing into the spirit realm. Because one of the things that is associated with fifth dimensional living is having a direct connection to the spirit realm. There is no mistake. It's almost like the physical and the spirit realm merge as one. That's the beauty of being in a fifth dimensional reality. So
you're talking about people see spirit, or people become more intuitive, and how's that?
All of the around, all of the above. Yeah, people are able to see things for what they really are. For instance, a lot of people are starting to see extraterrestrials. They're starting to see, beings, interdimensional beings, because that's what spirits are. Spirits are interdimensional beings, or beings from another dimension.
So how many dimensions are there out there?
Well, technically there are 15, but as I speak, there are 3 more dimensions that are being developed right now. And
Can you elaborate on that? I mean,
Sure,
why is
sure.
it being? Mhm.
So we have currently existed in 15 dimensions. The 15 dimensions are divided in 5 harmonic universes. Each universe consists of 3 dimensions. So 3 times 5 is 15. So for example, the original harmonic universe was known as universe number 5, which occupied, the always existing realms, which includes dimensions 13, 14, and 15. And then that universe, decided to one day experience more of itself, so it dropped into a lower frequency or a lower harmonic to become harmonic universe number 4, and then that's what gave us dimensions 10, 11, and 12. And then as that dropped into a lower octave, it became harmonic universe number 3, and that gave us dimensions 4, 5, and 6. And then that later dropped into the lowest harmonics to give us harmonic universe number 1, and that gave us dimensions 1, 2, and 3. So there's a total of 5 harmonic universes. But as I speak, another harmonic universe is being developed that is actually allowing us to now have access to the 16th, 17th, and 18th dimension, which is totally something new. But even within,
because the universe is constantly expanding.
yes, absolutely. But even within the dimensions, the dimensions are divided into sub-dimensions, sub-levels of reality, different realms. So the dimensions are divided into realms. Each realm is divided into different levels of reality. So even within the dimensions, you have further sub-levels. So each dimension has another layer of sub dimensions or levels or realms that are also divided in 12. So everything's always divided by 12. So in that reality, in that aspect, it's infinite. It's infinite number of realities. Yes, and that explains the multiverse. But technically, only 15 dimensions exist overall as the mother dimensions.
Oh, wow, it's very complex there.
Very.
So, yeah, now once you completed your, what I would say, your task, or being here in this earth, where do you know where you have to go? Scratch it out. I'm going to have another question. Do you have a different reality that you're existing at this moment besides the one that you are on earth right now? A different of your fragmented self.
Yes. Yes, there's 12 major versions that we all have, and then that further divides into 1,724 versions. So so we are fragmented into about 1,743 versions. That's how big our consciousness is.
You're talking about every one of us? Each one of us have that?
Every single one of us has different.
Not just the 10% of terrestrial blood have
No,
that.
not just
even indigenous one.
Even the indigenous ones. Every being in the multiverse has at least 12 versions of themselves, major versions, and then each one divides further into smaller versions, and that creates a multiverse in a sense where there's different versions of you and slightly different that exist in multiple universes and on different Earths as well.
Wow. So since you are channeling information, are you aware of other multiverse self that you have, all those different realities?
I have come into awareness of other versions of myself. Yes, I have.
Oh, what were they? Can you give us something? I'm curious. Yes.
Sure, yeah. Well, one of my versions is King Solomon, the son of David, Solomon the Wise, the wizard.
So even though it's in the past,
it's
several thousand years ago, it is still existing at the moment.
Yes, in a different timeline, Solomon is still alive. Yes. So that's why I was saying that the future and the past are actually coexisting with the presence.
Now you got me one good question coming up here, because I'm also a hypnotherapist, and I used to hypnotize. I studied with Dolores Canyon, and so I did that hypnotherapy on my clients. I ran into several clients who told me that they were a reincarnation of like Isis from Egyptian time. How can it be possible that I got this, let's say 3 clients that have the same reincarnation as Isis?
Because Isis is a oversoul. The oversoul breaks off into smaller souls. So each client is one of the smaller souls of the oversoul. There are many people that are claiming to have been, Jesus, Osiris, and stuff like that. Well, that explains the fact that they are different fragments of the oversoul. So All those people that existed, the gods of mythology, were oversouls. They had progeny, and their progeny now multiplied to 13%, 12 to 13% of the population. So that's why people are having these, connections to these other fragments of themselves that are still coexisting.
So what you're saying, these three clients of mine, they don't know each other, but they are seeing the same past life or the same fragment itself. These three are interconnected. They're connected with each other. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. Even though they don't know each other, they're still part of the same oversoul. Yes.
This is fascinating.
Yeah. So there's other aspects of yourself, Tina, that are coexisting here on this earth as well that you don't even know, that are doing different lifestyles in you.
I believe that. I actually been funny. I have been told that by other people that they met someone just like me. But it's funny. I kind of knew about that already. That there's another me existing right now on this earth. Kind of weird, but just the knowing. So kind of odd to think about that, but because not only you that told me that you were King Solomon, but I've been told also by other person as well that there were reincarnation of King Solomon as well. So I was like, whoa, this is interesting. So what is the purpose of reincarnating with the same soul, or sub-soul, different fragment itself into the same reality here, into this earth?
Well, it's
Well, I guess Ismael just disappeared into a different reality, guys. So we're just gonna have to wait until he's transported back into this earth. So let me text him. Okay, just text Ismael, so he's gonna have to come back. At first, I was thinking like, what's going on here? But while we're waiting for Ismael to come back, I'm just gonna share his book on Amazon with you. Okay, guys. So this is on Amazon, his book, Our Cosmic Origin. So just go ahead and go to Amazon. I have his link, the link for this book, under description under each video that I interview him. Just go ahead and click that link. It's gonna take you to his book here on Amazon, and you just get paperback or you can get on Kindle. It's so worth it, and it's quite fascinating. So I just wanted to share with you, so you can go ahead and get his book. And also I'm going to share one of the videos that I have interviewed him on my past YouTube video. This is one of them, and he's talked about how like there's huge DNA upgrade is coming, the solar flash that he talks about earlier, that is coming in and it's going to change our DNA from 7-strand or 7 chakra into the 12th strand of DNA, which is going to amplify our gift and our ability, kind of like superpower, And so as you can see here, it got his bio, got his personal information, and here's a link that I mentioned about into his book. So you guys can go to this link and grab his book. All right. So, and I have interviewed him about 4 or 5 times already. So you can go through my playlist and check out all his video. It's quite fascinating just to listen to what he has to share. Just like earlier, a lot of stuff that he has shared is quite fascinating. So it looks like he's back. So I'm just gonna bring you guys back. But Ismael, while we were waiting for you to come back, jump back from back into this reality to the third reality.
oh,
I was showing the listeners to the link to Amazon to get your book, and also one of the video that I did interview you about DNA upgrade, the solar flash coming in. So now you're back, so we're gonna continue on.
sorry about that. My battery died.
It's okay, that happened. So luckily I got this page up, on your past video and also on Amazon about your book. So I showed the audience where they can get your book as well under this description. But I was just teasing you. I was like, okay, he just transported into different reality. He has to come back to the earth realm. I said, come on, call Ismael home here. Let's come back home. Yeah, yeah. So anything else, Ismael, you would like to share? Because I know you always get downloads constantly, because for you to share information on a daily basis with us, because Ismael also share a lot of his personal video on Instagram, guys. So you can go under description, and I have his Instagram contact. You just, follow him, and you come out with video almost every day, right, Isabel?
Yes. Well, I
I
try
saw
to, because there's a lot of people out there putting misinformation, trying to scare people that we're all going to be enslaved by the one world government, that we're going to be taken over by evil aliens, or they're going to doomsday mentality. And I just want to let people know that the war has been won by the light. We're just waiting for the outcome to manifest here in the third dimensional realm, but the war has already been secured in the higher dimensions. And one of the things that I do is I get information that is based on the ascending positive timeline, just to let everybody know that, hey, if you're on the ascending positive timeline, you don't have to worry about anything. Things are actually going to get better for you. Your life is going to be beautiful.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I just interviewed another lady, and she talks about planet Jupiter, which is very, very powerful, positive planet. It's here right now, and it's very positive to everyone. And what I like about you, Ismael, that you are always promoting a positive light and information to uplift everyone's spirit. And that's a great aliens to have, really, right? Because right now, a lot of people are fearful of, like, what we just have COVID for a couple of years. And then now with inflation, recession, they're all talking about, and then the war, and then the shortage of foods, and everything just kind of amplify fear in humanity.
Exactly.
That's not good. So
No.
to have someone like you who channel information and bring this positive light and information and messages, and just to tell people the truth, hey, you know what? All these are just cover up. All these are just trying to make human to fall into the fears, because that's what they drive for. It's a low frequency of fear energy. And that's what I believe that. So is there anything else that you would like to share with us? I know you got a lot of people want to ask you a lot of questions, and sometimes I rather have you just kind of share with what you have at the moment.
Well, this whole idea that our country, or those that are part of the United States government, are going to sign our constitution over to the World Health Organization, right? Is a fear tactic. They want people to think that there is no good guys, that that the bad guys won, and their one world government is coming, and we're all going to be slaves. That's not true. The truth of the matter is that the good guys won, and they even won the war in space. The negative aliens that were in control of the cabal have been defeated back in 2016. They were defeated by the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Federation. Now, who is the Galactic Federation? Those are the positive extraterrestrials that are human-like, that have been assisting us and helping us for thousands of years. Because, overall, this is the most important planet in the universe. So right now, everyone's assisting us. Everyone's assisting us to make sure that we are safely secured in the positive ascending timeline, because what happens here on the Earth is going to have an effect on the entire multiverse. And so that's why we're receiving help from even beings that are beyond the Galactic Federation. All eyes are on Earth at this time. And that's why,
Wow.
that's why we have nothing to worry about. There's God's agenda that is being driven by the forces of light, right? And then there's the other guy's agenda, but their agenda was limited. They were only given temporary control of the planet, and now their time is up. And this is verified by all the prophecies. The prophecies never said that the one world government was going to be established and humanity was going to be enslaved or destroyed. The prophecy said that there would be an attempt to establish a one world government, but right before they did that they were going to be defeated, exposed, and that humanity would be liberated, and that would usher in the age of Aquarius. And that's what the original prophecy said.
Exactly. Amen to that. Well, Ismael, thank you so much, for being here and, sharing your wisdom to everyone here. I love that light and the positivity that you brought onto every single talk. And I have to agree with that. So, everyone just like stay positive and just not fall into that fear I think this world will uplift a lot faster. And we need someone like you. We need someone like you to just spread around this beautiful love and light. So Ismael, thank you so much for being here.
Welcome. Thank you, Tina, for having me.
You're gonna come back again because I know he's getting so busy right now. He got so many people that want to interview him. So you guys get in line. I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right. You have
Guys,
a good...
you like this video, make sure you share this video at your social media, share Ismael information with everyone, click subscribe on this channel, click like, and just make sure you follow him on this Instagram. What is your Instagram name? I mean, I have it under description, but I would like you to just go ahead and share it.
Sure, it's under Project Restoration Zion 1, the number 1 at the end, all one word. And Zion is spelled with the Z as in zebra. So it's Project Restoration Zion 1.
Good. And you can look up YouTube too. You have your own YouTube channel. I just saw it. I subscribed too.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Some of those videos are very good. They were all of them. I listened to all of them, but there were a couple that has to do with the U.S. government, President Truman, and how it started from Hitler. Yeah, exactly. I love that video. That one is really good. I knew about that already, but that was really like a confirmation that I got as well. So with that said, guys, thank you for tuning in, listen to this, channel. Ismael, thank you.
You're welcome, Tina. Thank you.
And I'll see you again soon. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.